Awesome. Well, welcome you guys to Wednesday Wisdom. I am Michelle McCay, coming to you from Oxford, Mississippi, and certainly we are praying for all of our brand partners, friends, and families in Florida that are being hit by Hurricane Milton right now. So much prayer for those, and we may even have Cynthia pray at the end for our family down in Florida, if you don't mind doing that. And I am going to turn it over to Miss Cynthia because she has a message for us tonight. And then we're going to hear from Miss Haley Lee, who has hit CEO just a few weeks ago and cannot wait to hear from Haley and all of her amazing tips. You're just going to learn so much from Haley, and we're just so blessed to have Haley on our team and so blessed for all of us as amazing friends to be able to do life and business together. I am incredibly honored and blessed. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Miss Cynthia, and then we're going to hear from Sheila when she gets out of choir tonight. So y'all are going to be blessed with all the great information tonight, y'all. And I'm just so incredibly proud of our team. So go ahead, Miss Cynthia Bolden.
All right. Thank you, Miss Michelle McCay. It is so much fun. I'm like Michelle, I think what from Coach's Corner to now twice in a day. And this is kind of one of my favorite calls, Wednesday Wisdom. Michelle has no idea what I'm getting ready to say. Haley has no idea what I'm getting ready to say. Sheila does not have any idea what I'm getting ready to say. So I think since I'm the one holding the mic, I get to say what I want to say about these ladies. So we're going to do something a little different, okay? So you have to understand different is okay. Brennan and Andrea are away. They'll get to recording later, but they don't have the mic tonight. You know what they say about people when you give them a mic, watch out. But here we go. Let's have some fun like we always do. Uh, as you all know, it is Wednesday Wisdom, and I have been excited all day. I have tried to write notes. That is not really my thing, notes per se, but it's just been bubbling in me and bubbling in me. And I want to say to each and every one of you, we talk about Partner Co. We talk about the great products. We talk about the owners. We talk about the company. And all of that is good. And we're so thankful for that. Tonight, we're going to talk about you. I sincerely mean from the bottom to the top of my heart. Thank you so much to be partnered. Thank you so much. It is amazing to me to see your faces and to see so many of you on here that we get to talk to, hug your neck. We just left Orlando. I'm still in my feels from Orlando. Are you? I'm still like that good vibe going like, wow, I saw them on the Zoom. Now I see them in person. I am still over the top from Orlando. So thank you to you. That's part of lifestyle to thank you, to say you're here on a Wednesday night. And that means everything for us to come together. And in a minute, we'll gleam and learn from Haley and just her accomplishments. It's almost like I feel like if we was all together, I feel like, like an image of a big party celebrated. And I know I'm super hyped because of everything that's happening with Partner Co. But I wanted to bring something to your attention too. This is Wednesday Wisdom, and you know what Wednesday is, a day of the week. And it dawned on me to think about wisdom. And I think about Michelle. A lot of you know that we're in Oxford, Mississippi. A lot of you know me and Michelle's story. A lot of you know, and it really personally have just really know Michelle. Michelle's passion, her get up and go, the things that she bring to the table. I mean, the list could go what on and on and on. But hey, if we had time, I promise I would give you that list. We just don't have time for all of it tonight. So catch me later for it. But listen to this. It's Wednesday wisdom. So wisdom in itself is the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. So that's what we're bringing to you tonight. When you think of a Michelle McCay, a Haley Lee, a Sheila, and I say it's Sheila. So I still practice Sheila's last name. So I'm not going to even act like that I get it quite right, but I say Sheila. And I can tell you a fun fact about Sheila later. But think about this again, the quality of having experience and knowledge good judgment, and all of this experience that's coming to us with an attitude of love. I mean, you can't put a price on that, okay? And then the next thing is that one of the thoughts was when we talk about lifestyle and we talk about the system of growth, this panel tonight that you're getting ready to hear from, this is kind of the idea, it's kind of like the playbook for the system of growth. And this is what I mean. Relationship is so important. Friendship is so important. I am Cynthia Bolden, and I have been with Partner Co from the very beginning. I'm from the Limu family. But this is the deal. For those that don't know, a lot of people know Michele, the great Michele McCay, is someone we've been friends forever. And like I said, you know that part. But what I don't know if you know is that Michele, and Michele, help me with this. Michele, I recruited Michele, but not based on what people think sometimes. It was mainly off, to me, a lifestyle, a friendship, partnership that we already had. Would you say correct, Michele?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So out of a need of something for her brain fog, I didn't have time to think, can I enroll Michele? Can I get Michele in the business? My first thought was, okay, how do we help Michele? How can I help Michele? And out of that, Michele will tell you, after experiencing these wonderful products and the things that's happened to her, think about how this goes. Just think. Cynthia, then Cynthia enrolls Michele. Haley Lee gets in touch with Sheila about something that Michele posted about drops. Now, follow the timeline. So Sheila gets the scoop and the information. Well, that's what I love about Sheila. For all of you that's had the privilege of knowing Sheila so long, mine has been a short period of time, but I am telling you, Sheila proves this out. It's not about the quality of the time, it's the quantity. She brings the quantity. She brings the, am I saying that right? It's the quality that she brings. And you know, I hadn't been knowing her a long time, but the value that she's brought to my life and so many others. I mean, man, it's awesome. But for her to get in touch with Michele, for Haley, then Sheila enrolls under Michele. And then what's next? Then Haley, who's our star tonight, that will be teaching and presenting to us. Look at that. I mean, does it get any better than that? I mean, this is just so awesome. And to know these ladies, some of you on this call have known them longer than me, but this is what I wanted to take the time to express what I feel in my heart towards these ladies. Now, check this out. What I have learned from these ladies, what I have experienced from these ladies, has, you can't put a price on it, because when you lead with love, you're going to automatically be a giver. I couldn't be more ecstatic or proud. I feel like throwing confetti up or something right now. I just couldn't be more happier and proud to be a part of what started here, which also led to so many people on the team, so many people on the call. Now, trust me, if they gave me all night, we could roll all night loving on everybody. So let me say this in advance. I see your names, I see your faces, so I can look you in your eyeballs tonight and gladly tell you, I love you. I know I do. And I am so fortunate and so thankful to be in a business and a company where love can be so expressed in ways that people are consistently helping people over and over and over again. So I wanted to just take the time to say thank you so much. I'm so blessed. It's kind of like giving people their flowers. Anytime you get that opportunity, do it. Do it. It is just awesome to hear your voices, to pick up the phone, to talk to Olivia. I see you, and I'm thinking about Olivia's holding me accountable for making sure I'm doing follow-ups. See there? I didn't know Olivia well, a year and a half ago, but look, that's the beauty of this. So what I would like to do, I'm not really sure if Sheila's here or not quite yet, but if she's not, we can move right to, because
She's
this is
on.
what she is. Sheila's here.
Yeah.
She's not able to speak. She's just leaving choir and unable to
Okay,
speak.
so
Let's
let's
move
give it
straight
to
on to Haley.
Haley.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you now, I'm the one that can say, Haley, 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 what do I say? You even probably got to help me. She knows it's this girl is phenomenal. I could go down the Webster's dictionary, but from my heart, and I'm sure a lot of you already know this, she is one awesome cookie. She is just nothing but love for Haley. So, Haley, congratulations on all your accomplishments, everything you bring to the table. I personally want to say in front of everybody, thank you for what you bring to me. To me. Look, I'm telling you right now, again, every chance I get, thank you so much. And now, what we want to do is hear from you, your tips, things that you do to make things happen and spread love and help so many people the way that you do. So, Haley, take it away.
Y'all are so sweet, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I did write down a few notes that I have scattered across my desk. They're in really no certain order. So I feel like it would be kind of fitting to piggyback off of what Cynthia has shared, but also to tell you a little bit about my story and where it all started. So, as close as she and Michelle are and have been for years, I feel like that is me and Sheila. And I'll get to that in just a second, but that's one piece of it. But the other piece that she said was talking about Wednesday wisdom. And wisdom and discernment are two things that I try to pray for every single day. I try to pray that over my children. I pray it over my marriage. I pray it over my business. And I think that you need to be praying for that as well as it relates to your business, as it relates to the people that are coming into your business and the people that you want to reach out to about your business. But let me take you back 12 and a half years ago to February of 2012 when I was introduced to this industry and started my first business in direct sales. And so I need to say this first of all as well. We can get very caught up in comparing our journey to someone else's. And I want to caution you from doing that because if you've never done direct sales before, or if, this is completely new to you, then you don't need to compare your timeline to mine. Okay. Um, we're all different. And that's the beauty of this industry is that we all come from different backgrounds and different experiences, and yet we can all still do this business and we can do it very well. So my background was corporate HR before I started direct sales. And I was one of the ones who was climbing the ladder, very comfortable in my corporate HR career, loved it, loved people. That's really where I found out that I was passionate about people and I loved helping them and serving them. But what I fell out of love with over time was the corporate hours and the always being tied to my phone and feeling like that I always had to be on. So, October of 2011, my husband Joseph and I got married. And in January of 2012, I was introduced to my previous company. And it didn't take me long to jump in because I understood that even though we both made great money and were happy in our careers, I was looking for some money that we could put away for savings, right? Kind of an additional savings account. And that's really what drew me initially to this journey, this business. But 6 weeks after my business started, my dad was diagnosed with liver cancer. And if you or a family member has never experienced that, I can't even put into words how it will flip you on your head. Okay. So that is where really my journey started because immediately my dad worked long, long hours. He was away from home a lot because he worked nights. And so I knew that my journey was shifting and that I really wanted time freedom long term. I didn't want to be tied to that full time job. And I knew that this opportunity, this industry could give that to me. And so I started working harder. And honestly, during that season of my life, I felt like that was my business was a distraction from my life that was crumbling in that moment. I was very close to my dad, a daddy's girl, and all the things. So fast forward 6.5 months, and my dad passes away. And at the time, I'm 12 weeks pregnant with my daughter, and she ended up being born on what would have been my dad's 65th birthday the following May. So this baby is born, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, how am I going to pass her off to a daycare? Because no one's going to take as good a care of her as I am, right? And so then I started working harder and harder in order to replace that income. And I was able to leave my corporate career when Ellison, my daughter, was 22 months old. She's 11 now. And so this industry has given me true time freedom to be a present mom and a present wife. But over the last couple of years, that business started to go backwards. And I was looking for some replacement income. And so when my youngest started kindergarten last fall, I started putting out applications and trying to put my foot in the door for what I thought I wanted, which was an HR job that I could do from home to keep that flexibility and yet have some additional income coming into our household. And you would think with 2 degrees and lots of experience that it would have been really easy for me to find a job, but it was not. So I was praying about it. I had Sheila praying about it. I had other people praying about it in terms of what is our next move, because my husband and I were getting by, but we were not getting ahead. Let's be very honest. So in December, when I see Michelle's post about the drops, I immediately text Sheila. And I need to take you back to one particular night. I think it was truly the night that I met Sheila. My dad had just passed away. It was December or January, because I remember having on a pea coat and I was pregnant with Ellison. And I had 2 guests that were supposed to come to a business opportunity meeting that we were having that night. And they both texted me within an hour of the presentation and said that they weren't coming. And I remember thinking I should just skip and go home, because there's no point in me going if my guests aren't going to show up. But I went because I was a leader and I felt like I needed to be there. And we had to walk up like this step, and then you get it to the top of the platform. And Sheila was standing there. Had never met her before. And I think that she could see, I'm going to choke up talking about this. I think she could see how broken I was. I had just lost my dad. I was in the throes of my grief. And sorry, these people didn't show up like they said that they were going to. And how many disappointments have we had while building a business, right? It happens. And genuinely, things do happen for people, and that's why they can't come. Sorry for the hearts. But she said to me at the top of the stairs, she hugged me and she said, "Whatever you do, don't quit." And that stuck with me. And I didn't quit. And so she was the first person I called whenever I see Michelle's post. Obviously, we've been friends for a long time. I trust her with my life and my children. And I called her and I said, I need to know more about this. But the getting to the end of this, you need to know that Partner Co was an answer to prayer, not just for me, but for other people. And I do feel like we were prayed in here. Cynthia talks about that. Okay. So that's part of why you want to pray for your business, for wisdom and discernment of who to talk to about this, for opportunities, for the doors to be open, and for God to plant the seeds for the people that need to see it or hear it when they need to see it and hear it. Because it's not our timing, it's their timing. It's not our interest, it's their interest. Okay. So a few notes that I've made, because I don't want to keep crying on y'all tonight. One of my friends who I also consider to be very wise, her name is Michelle Vincent. I've known Michelle for a long time. And she always uses this phrase that says, build the well before you are thirsty. And I'm not saying that she made that up, but she just always said that. And that always stuck with me for a long time in terms of build the business before you need it. Some people come to this business needing it immediately. Some people come here and they're very comfortable. And so they take this lackadaisical approach to it, right? And I'm not saying this in order to instill fear into anyone. There's enough of that going on right now. Okay. But I am saying use your time wisely. You can train to train to train to train. And if you don't do the work, your business is not going to be built. You've got to put yourself in action. You've got to figure out why you're here. And it's okay for that why to change over time. It just typically does, right? Life circumstances change. If people tell you no, you never take them off your list because their life circumstances are going to change too. Okay. So you need to continue to follow up with them. And I think that you just need to understand the timing and positioning that we have with Partner Co right now is something 10 years from now, we will not ever regret being a part of. And so different people come here for different reasons. And a lot of that has to do with our health, right? And if you're feeling good, if you're having those personal results from the drops and other products, then I want you to want that bad enough to share the business opportunity with them. Because yes, we can make drop money all day long, and that is such a blessing. But there is a whole lot more to that equation if you'll tap into it and build the business. I think as far as hitting CEO most recently, there aren't words to tell my team how grateful I am because truly that title would never have happened among several others without my team. We had a large number of people that attended PXP this year. And I feel like for many of them, that was their first Partner Co experience, if you will, not just literally Partner Co PXP experience, but that was their first experience with the corporate side of Partner Co in person. And I think that that was such a monumental opportunity for them to really see and hear from the owners and from our corporate team about their commitment and their vision for the future. And when people feel safe, they can relax and they can let themselves settle into building this. Okay. So always get your team to events. There's one coming up in Memphis if you can attend that, just to put a plug in. But as far as events go, I was talking with a couple of my leaders today, and people tend to shy away from events because they don't feel comfortable speaking in front of people. Well, guess what? This isn't really comfortable speaking in front of a group of people right now either. I don't know that you're ever going to just feel at ease. Maybe some people do, but I don't. And that's okay to admit. But if you don't push yourself, if you don't step out of your comfort zone, then you're holding yourself back and you're holding other people back because God may have called you to be a leader. And if you don't step up and lead, then you're not being obedient. And so we have all of the tools and resources here, more than I've ever been given when it comes to a system of growth, when it comes to the slide deck presentation in terms of what to say at an event. It's all there. We don't have to go recreate the wheel. We just have to act. We just have to do it. And so my passion truly is to get my team paid. We're doing some training this week about earning that $250 in base pay and why that's so important. But I would encourage you to work with your team, to plug into them, because if you dial into your team, you're eventually going to get where you want to go. There's a saying about that as well. If you help enough people, right? But truly understand that these people represent a family. They have a history, they have a future, and they need this. They may not realize how bad they need it. You may want it for them more than they want it for themselves. but you have to identify, which is where those prayers of wisdom and discernment come from. You have to identify the people who are genuinely looking for what you have. We have been given a gift, in my opinion, a gift with these products that can create a lot of preventative help to people who need it going forward. But we also have a business that is a preventative tool to help people in the future and to help them financially now. So this business is going to require you to get uncomfortable. Tim Sales gave an incredible presentation at PXP. And one of the biggest takeaways that I took from him was that this business boils down to the number of presentations that you're willing to give. 9 out of 10 of those presentations are going to be a no. And we associate no as a negative because from a very young age, we're told, no, don't touch that. It's too hot, or no, whatever. No in this industry is what you want. It is a welcomed word because it's an answer. It's a definitive. The people that make me crazy are the ones that leave you in limbo and you're like, well, I don't know what to do now, right? No is not forever, but we welcome the no's. We had a sheet in my former company, 100 no's. There's a book, Go for No. Like in this industry, no is your friend. And so don't shy away from the activities that are bringing you no's. Just know that those people aren't right at this particular time and move forward. I know I'm running out of time, so I'll be really quick, but a lot of people were recognized at PXP, and I love that. And I'm so grateful that so many from my team were a part of that recognition. But again, going back to don't compare your journey. Don't look at it like, well, I thought I would be here by this date and I'm not. Or I thought I would do this by this point and I'm not. And you just go into this I'm a loser mentality. You are not. You are called, and you are called for a reason and for a season. And it's time to embrace this season. So with that, hopefully Sheila's here, Michelle, whoever, I can turn it back to one of y'all.
Well, Haley, that was phenomenal. I cried through the beginning, and I cry hearing you and Sheila talk because I'm just so thankful. I mean, when you talked about the timing of everything, I was on the products for almost a year before you saw my post. But take it back to February, and Cynthia and I have wanted to work together for years, and she knew my position with our previous company, and she knew my loyalty. And she said, Michelle, we're going to start praying your team in because I know you see the vision of this company, but I know I respect your loyalty to your company. And so we started praying it in. And this is what I want to say. I could have shouted from the rooftops. I was with Sheila. I talked to Sheila every other day, and we were together every week on a Zoom call every Monday. I could have told her, but God would not allow me yet. It wasn't the right timing. And so when Haley saw my post, it was the right timing. But had I saw Haley in October at our company convention. We hugged and we talked and we took a picture together, and we even referenced that picture that I could have told her right then and there. But God was still preparing her heart. God was still preparing Sheila's hearts. They weren't ready yet. I wasn't ready yet. So the timing is so important, y'all, is what I wanted to say on that. But also the prayer that Cynthia and I have prayed for years. Cynthia prayed this prayer over my hospice, y'all, when we first started back in 2000, probably 2003, 4, 5, when she and I first met. She came to my office and we anointed the doorpost with oil. Do you remember that, Cynthia? We walked the perimeter of that building. We prayed the patients in from the north, south, east, and west. God, please enlarge our territory. That's been part of my prayer my entire business career. So that's been the prayer for this team. So I have a call to action for each one of you. You've already been prayed in. Your team has been prayed in. I want you to thank God for it. Speak it every single day. John Wadsworth says, go find a few new people every single day and write your goals down every day. I want you to write down 1 Chronicles 4:10. That is the prayer of Jabez. It says, enlarge my territory, O Lord. And it is from the north, south, east, and west. But you pray that prayer of Jabez over yourself and your team every single day. It's already been prayed over you. Receive it, but write that down, y'all, every day so you can read it every single day. Now, the second thing I want to say, when you get out of your comfort zone, like I went to Japan by myself, a lot of people went to Milan by themselves and they were so blessed and went out on faith. And a lot of us, we may not go out of the country to get out of our comfort zone. My point being, when you do presentations, like Haley said, we've got the slide deck right there for you. Get out of your comfort zone. I felt a leading to go to Japan because God told me you're going to build from the north, south, east, and west. But guess who I met in Japan? I already met him, but guess who I got to build a relationship with? Tim Sales. That was a dream, y'all. I got to build a relationship with John Wadsworth, with Greg Tedrow, with other people that had never gotten to know. So I texted him today and said, hey, just checking on you, buddy. I want to tell you how much I enjoyed your talk at PXP. I hadn't had a chance to talk to you. Y'all, they are surrounded by a forest fire. So I'm asking you to please pray for Tim Sales and his family today. But before I knew that, I said, Tim, my team adores you. They loved your talk. Would you come feed into my team at some point? And he'd already told me that in Japan, and y'all, we've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to set it up, but he said, I absolutely will. So raise your hand if you want to hear from Tim Sales specifically to our team, where you can ask Tim Sales questions like I did all week in Japan. So Tim Sales will feed into our team at some point. And then he shared with me right after, hey, I'm surrounded by a forest fire. We may have to evacuate. I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to tell my team tonight, we're all going to be praying for you. We will be praying for you. So y'all please put that on your list too. Pray for Tim Sales, pray for Florida. And as soon as he gets out of this crisis, he's going to give me a date for meeting with our team. So I'm so excited about that. But that's also just another part of the blessing that we know that God has for us, right, Cynthia? That it's prayed in for each and every one of y'all. And I want y'all to add that prayer to your call to action, to your goals every single day, and believe that God has the team for you as well, because he's brought every one of you here and he's got everybody else that's supposed to be joining us as well. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. I'm sad that Sheila couldn't be on. She was getting out of choir and I think she's driving. And so she apologized that she would not be able to speak, but we will be so blessed.
She's late on the other side over there.
She will be so blessed when we hear from her that she will be able to talk maybe next week. I'm not sure when Brent and Andrea will be back, but if we are blessed to be able to have her on next week, we will have her speak. But y'all have an amazing night, and just know and feel blessed that you've been prayed for, you've been prayed in, and we are so thrilled that y'all were with us tonight. Thank you so much, Haley, for sharing your heart. I am so blessed to have power partners with me, not only Cynthia, but Sheila and Haley. And that was the last thing I was going to say, y'all. If you do not have a power partner, like Haley has Sheila and I have Cynthia, and we all have each other, find a power partner to work with. It's so fun. It's so fun to power partner with someone. That way you feel like you've got somebody to run with. And if you need a power partner, reach out and I will help you find one. So y'all be blessed tonight. So excited that y'all were on. And enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Love you guys. Thank you,
Love
Cynthia.
you.
Thank you, Haley. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Blessings to everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good night.
Good
Hey,
night.
Napoleon.
Night.
Good night.
So
Thank
nice
you.
to see
Good
you
night.
again,
Thank
Napoleon.
you.
Bye, y'all. Good
Bye-bye.
night. All the beautiful faces. Getting to see everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.